Hello, everyone.
Okay,
Look,
down you
look.
go.
Okay, she's had enough.
Oh God, she was fighting through the whole intro. She doesn't like to be picked up and held for any length of time. Hello, everyone. I'm David from Tarot by the Bay, and this is Marina's channel, Heart Center Tarot, starring Marina.
Me, me, yay! And welcome everyone to Taco Tuesdays. I really look forward to doing this show because it's just so much fun to kind of get into the weeds because there's so many people who are fighting for uh, the the worst human being alive award, and
Oh God.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like we're spoiled for choice. You can
Yeah.
throw a dart at the wall and you're gonna hit some good things. So thank you everyone for being here. Um, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I've got David's channel info in the description of the video. So make sure that you go over to his channel and give him a like, share, and subscribe. God knows he needs more subscribers.
I know, right?
It yeah. Yes. Yeah. And
Well, it's
speaking
funny
of,
that the rate that you've been growing, mine's an absolute slog.
no, no, no. And I do want to say thank you so much for the shout out in your latest video that you did about where you were going to be and about Heart Center Tarot. That just warmed my heart.
No,
It
you're so
just,
welcome. I don't do it enough. I realize, like, oh, I need to mention to folks what I've got going on here. I'm supposed to be on
yes.
Hogarth's channel, I think, in a couple of weeks as well. He hasn't sent me the link yet,
Oh, lovely. Oh, that'll be so
so
much
that'll
fun.
be fun.
Yes. Yeah. And a few of the folks have said, please, where is Gary? So we can give you guys a little bit of an update um, on. Well, David will give you an update.
Yeah. So I saw my brother this weekend, and it was the first time I've actually broached the subject of the channel. When Gary and I had talked last, he was just really burnt out and needed a break. And again,
Mhm.
what do you know? Identical twins can kind of understand what the other person is saying, even if they don't say it. So it's like I've just been totally hands off. I've not communicated to him much at all, other than I think twice I sent him a screen capture of people wishing him well, just so that he knows he's being missed. I asked him, so what have you been doing in the absence of the channel? How are things going for you? And he's like, you know what? It's been really nice to be unplugged. I haven't listened to the news at all. Um, it's like, it's very much a relief to not be answering comments every day, because he would spend a couple hours a day answering
Yes.
comments. And he said there was once or twice I was tempted to make a video, but then I just decided, no, I don't want to do that. So I think, I forget how long he's been off the air now, for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't even know when we did our last video
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah. I'd
and,
say about 3 4
and to
weeks.
be
Yeah.
to be really honest, I don't know when he's coming back, and I'm not going to push him on that. It's
Yeah.
um, he he did he's still enough connected. He got a couple of campaign signs to put on his front lawn,
Yes.
and he always finds the best ones. Like one said, it's got, like, the Trump blue background with like the stars and stuff like that. So it's
Yes.
very obvious a campaign sign. It says, "This all stops when we say no," something to that effect. And another one
Yes.
says, "I knew it would be crazy, but holy shit."
Yes.
And those are both on his front lawn
Yes.
right now. So he's
Yes.
broadcasting his political chops out there. Oh, and he's no longer.
Perfect.
He told me he's no longer a Republican. I think he's an independent.
Ah, well done.
So,
One for our side.
it's sad it took him this long. I mean,
Yes.
I did mine almost 10 years ago, and it was within the first month or two of Trump taking over in 2017.
Yes.
I guess it was 9 years ago, and you know I hadn't been voting Republican for 10 years prior to that, but it was kind of like I kept waiting for the Republican Party to come back to being normal. And there was
Yes.
no indication they ever were going to do that. Worse, they were supporting that first administration. And I just couldn't be associated with it anymore.
Exactly. And I think a
Hell, and
lot
now
of
the
people are going to
Democrats
say
seem
the
kind
same
of,
thing.
the Democrats are too conservative for my liking now, too. I'm going to align myself with the progressives. They think they've got the right
Yes.
idea.
Oh, could be. Could be. So I wish I could say hello to each and every one of you. We've got 107 in the room right now. Thank you for joining us. And Joe Bear says, Marina, you are new to me. I am one of David's regulars on the East Coast. Well,
Hey,
welcome, Joe Bear. And East Coast of the US or Canada? Because yours truly is located in Canada. So, I think,
do do Canadians refer to themselves on being on the West Coast or East Coast? Because that's definitely a United States term.
um, yes, yeah, very, very well. More than sometimes we like to admit. But if you're yeah, you will hear a lot of people say, "Oh, well, yeah, I live in Alberta, but I'm from the East Coast."
Okay.
I live in Montreal, but I'm from the West Coast.
Okay, so Joe
So
Bear did confirm she's in the U.S. See, I would have thought they would have said I was a
nice.
Newfie or from Manitoba or something like that,
Yes,
or British Columbia, Vancouver.
yes, yeah, totally, totally. And there's parts of Canada. Yeah, if you're from Newfoundland, you are affectionately known throughout Canada as a Newfie.
Newfie, yep.
Yeah, and they are probably the salt of the earth, the kindest, loveliest people that you will ever meet. Great sense of humor. Um, they were the ones who came to the USA during 9/11 when all the planes had to land. Where did they land? They landed in Gander, Newfoundland.
Mm.
And for a small little community that could not handle that many people, they made it work. They made it work. So anyway, that's what it is. But we recognize that not that Trump is not America, and he does not represent Americans. Um, that this is just a bump in the road that is, we're in for some difficult challenges, but this too shall pass. Right, this
Marina,
too shall pass.
Marina and I were talking just before we went on air. I had posted up a video, and this is going to be one of the topics we're going to read on tonight, so we'll
Yes.
segue into it, about the Gordie Howe Bridge. Gordie Howe was
Yes.
a famous Mr. Hockey, I believe, was his
Yes.
nickname, if I'm not mistaken. No,
Yeah.
leading scorer for decades before Gretzky came along and broke his records, but a legend hockey player who played for the Detroit
Yes.
Red Wings. So Canada had built a bridge, like a 6-lane bridge connecting Detroit with Canada. And I don't know which city it's coming out of. Forgive me, I'm an American.
Windsor, Ontario.
And they Canada paid for the bridge and gave the U.S. half the owning rights to the bridge. And Trump's out there on his True Social grinding on about how it's unfair and we've done so much that Canada should give us the bridge. And this Canadian person who was making this video just said, told Trump to F off in his video, but then he spilt some information that I think it's very worthy to share with folks in the United States. And it goes like this. I think they understand that most of the folks in the United States don't support Trump or this administration, but at the same time, all the trust that had been built up over centuries is gone. And
Yes.
even if Trump goes and you put in a different administration that's much friendlier to Canada, the way things were will never be the way things are going forward. We've hit our high water mark with Canada, and they've made their trade deals with China and India, Europe, and any sweetheart deals the United States had, those are going to be renegotiated, and they'll never be as good as they were before. And the
Yeah.
summation was, it'll be several generations before everything is forgiven, and it still will never be to where it was before. And I don't think folks in the United
Yeah.
States truly understand or appreciate where Canada is coming from with this. Because for most of us, especially the ones watching this channel, we loathe Trump. We hate Trump as
Yeah.
much as Canadians do, and probably more in our mind. But the insults and the humiliations burn deep.
Yes, they do. This is, you know what, I think that the best thing that I can liken it to is, you know what, we had a pretty good marriage. We believed that we were good partners and we were committed to each other. You cheated on us.
Yep, that is that. I was thinking that analogy too. That is a wonderful analogy to
Yeah.
it. Trust is
Yeah.
destroyed, and
Yeah.
maybe you can repair the marriage, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna take some time because yeah, the first time that you say, "Oh no, I'm on my way home from work. I'll be home by 7," and you show up at 7:15, where were you?
right.
What happened? It just yeah, it takes a lifetime to build up that trust and just a minute, seconds to erode it. So
Yeah,
I think that yeah, it probably is going to take a couple generations before we get to that point that, and before we get to that point that we're kind of where we were with a lot of the trust, and it's just going to take um, it's going to take time, and it's going to take um, people are going to need to sit back and well, we're going to be watching. Are you
yeah.
are are you are you doing what you said you were going to do? And did it go smoothly? Did anything? Because yeah, um, once you've been kind of cheated on, your radar just automatically goes on,
Oh yeah.
right? So yeah, exactly.
And,
It'll take some time,
and
and
As Bert O'Malley pointed out, the USA has proven they are too damn stupid to not elect a con man again. Now, I will say this: me personally, I think those elections were tampered with. But
yes,
regardless of what me personally thinks, nothing's come out in the courts yet to support that. Grumble, grumble, grumble about the Rockford County case. Um,
yes,
and the I did show my friend. So no proof yet, but you can't convince me that this thing wasn't stolen. It's just we haven't gotten the information out yet, and it'll be very difficult for me to my dying day believe that this election was legit, that he won the popular vote and swept all the swing states. This no,
yes.
no, that didn't happen.
No,
Um,
no,
my
it didn't. And I think that he telegraphed a lot of that even before the election in
exactly
terms of, well, I just need you to vote for me just this one time, and then you don't have to worry about voting again.
right, and
Really?
Elon knows more about that election software than anybody else. Huh, why would
Yes.
you even mention that? Um,
Yes.
the chat I had was with my friends who live in Canada, and
Yes.
uh, these one of them would go to Disney World usually once a year. He would plan a big trip to Disney World because he's a big Star Wars fan, and he would load up on Star Wars paraphernalia. And it's like, I don't know if I'm ever going back. Another friend who says he used to go to the United States weekly, at least, if not a couple of times a week. Um, he might be lucky if he goes 5 times in a year now because
Yeah.
of what's going
Yeah.
on. Just
Yeah. There's
brutalized.
yeah, there's an awful lot well, an awful lot. Define awful lot. There's a number of people that I know that yes, regularly would travel to the U.S. And one couple in particular would sometime mid-November they would fly down to Hawaii. They've got a condo there, and they would stay there until mid-January, sometimes in February, depending on the weather up here. And this was a yearly thing that they did. There's others that, yes, same thing, whether it was, summer holidays or, snowbirds going down south, it was a fairly regular thing. And now they're saying, no
Yeah.
way, not taking the chance. I don't know, Art, that, my passport is going to work, that I'm not going to get hauled off somewhere for no particular reason other than someone doesn't like the color of my skin, or they
Right.
want to see my social media account and I say
On
hell
your phone.
no.
They want to go on your phone
you
and
know
see what you've been saying about dear leader.
yeah. Yes. Yeah. And there's and it in a lot of ways it bothers me personally, because there's since I've had this YouTube channel, I've made some very, very good friends down south, people that I feel close to, that I feel are part of my family in ways, and I would love to go down and visit, but
Yeah.
not going to take that chance. So unfortunate, unfortunate, but yeah, that's where it is. And yes, Mark Brisbois said, yeah, 1,500 nurses live in Windsor and they work in Detroit. Yeah, it's like you cross the bridge. It's similar to when I lived in Nova Scotia. I lived in Dartmouth, but I worked in Halifax. Take the ferry across every single day. There was nothing to it. So, yeah, one of my cousins was could still be a nurse in Windsor. Yeah, she worked in Detroit. That was normal,
Yeah.
and it's not normal anymore. Yeah,
Nope.
so that's unfortunate. But yes, let's get to Gordie Howe.
Bridge.
The Yeah, um, that one I kind of laughed at that, because yeah, the White House uh, has demanded that Canada share authority and ownership of the new bridge. Where were you when it was under construction?
Mm-hmm.
you know where yeah. um and yeah, the Gordie Howe International Bridge, connecting the Canadian province of Ontario, specifically Windsor, to the US state of Michigan, will not open. This is what Trump has said, will not open until Ottawa treats the United States with the fairness and respect that we deserve.
That's right. How entitled can you get?
Exactly. He says to the 51st state, and says to the governor of Canada, you want to talk about respect? You want to talk about fairness? Yeah, it was supposed to be a project that both of the countries were going to work on, um, until the U.S. decided that maybe not so much. And this was something that was, it's been in the works for a couple decades, I think, if maybe a little more, um, until Canada said, okay, fine. You know what? This bridge is important, so we're going to build it. We're going to pay for it. They made sure that it was built with Canadian and U.S. workers. That parts of on the U.S. side, that there were U.S. steel was used and so on. But no, according to Donald Trump, No, that's not what happened. Um, yeah, it was, Canada just kind of went in there and built this bridge without consulting Donald. And yeah, so apparently, now on Tuesday, Trump had a conversation with Mark Carney, and I did get that could have been today. I think it could have been today. And Carney said that it was a fairly positive conversation, and that he reminded Trump that Canada paid for the bridge. Um, and he also reminded the president that it was built by US and Canadian workers and with steel from both countries. And this is a great example of cooperation between our countries, and I look forward to it opening, he told reporters in Ottawa on Tuesday. Well, yeah. You know, I think that if Mark Carney was to call Donald and say, Donald, you know what? A lot of people don't know who Gordie Howe is and whatnot. So we're going to name it the Donald Jessica Trump Bridge. Oh, please. Right? So, oh, and Bern O'Malley says Donald signed off on the Gordie Howe Bridge in 2018.
I was going to look up to see when construction started.
Well done. Thank you, Bern.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you throw up a bridge in 2 weeks' time and nobody bothered to let Trump know it was happening, you know?
Yes. Yes, exactly. So let's take a look and see is for all his complaining and for all his threats that he's not going to allow the bridge to open or whatnot. Is that really going to happen? No, I don't think so. But is he going to keep throwing a hissy fit? Because I think Canada's going to be looking at getting financial reward for when it comes to the crossing of the bridge and the tolls and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, is he going to put up enough of a stink so that the bridge doesn't open? Oh Lord. Okay. I went to the governance cards. Mm-hmm. And is he going to put up a stink about this? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Just the one word. Why? Because it's part of his intimidation tactics. It's what he wants to do. He wants to to soothe his ego. Easily bought. I could not have picked these cards if I had wanted to. He is, however, open to negotiation. So is it going to work? Is he going to get anything out of that? No. No.
When I first threw my cards, I think I'm getting both directions with them. So first card I got was the Knight of Cups, the offer of friendship. And I think Carney's already done this. It's like, you know what? We paid for this. This is mutually beneficial for our countries. You know, it's reopening trade routes. It's going to save a lot of money with trucking stuff and trying to appease the man baby with, relax and just let the commerce happen. This is what you want, is commerce. I think that's how Carney approaches it.
Yes.
Same spread. Trump comes up with his own suggestion, and you're the one who came up with it. I think we need to rename the bridge the Donald J. Trump Gordie Howe Bridge. That way, the United States is honored for everything we've done to Canada. And then I feel like I've got my name on another monument, and then I will calm the F down and turn my attention to the monument, that the Arc de Trump that I want to build in
Yes.
Washington, D.C. This is
Yes.
all about ego and putting his name on something. So
Yes.
maybe they license the bridge to Donald Trump, like one of the towers could be the Trump Tower. But I bet you, he's going to insist that they name the bridge after him.
Probably. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised that
Yeah.
he that everything is about him and his legacy and so on. Um, yeah. Oh, and he also wants U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hegstra, who is from Michigan, to play a role in smoothing the conversation in and around the bridge.
Isn't our ambassador to Canada like one of the biggest pricks that's out there as far as treating Canada
Yes.
like complete garbage?
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because that's a good idea. That's like sending Holman over to Minneapolis to calm things down.
Exactly.
Mr. Kids in Cages himself.
Exactly. Yeah. And the oh yeah, he let me see. The Yeah, he posted on Truth Social, of course. The Canadian government expects me, the president of the United States, to permit capitalize them to just take advantage of America. And I will not allow this bridge to open until the United States is fully compensated for everything we have given them.
I don't have an American flag in my house. If I did, I'd go wrap myself up in the flag and hum the
Yes,
Star Spangled Banner right now
yes,
because I'm a patriot.
absolutely. Yes, yeah, and he blamed former President Barack Obama, of course, for allowing construction to begin without the use of any U.S. steel. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Drew Dilkins, who is the mayor of Windsor, Ontario, on the Canadian side of the bridge, told CBC that this accusation is wrong. It's just insane, he said. I really can't believe
I
what
like the
I'm
way that,
reading.
I like how he slipped that in there.
Yes. Yeah. Just insane. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah. So I thought that I had it highlighted here where the how much it how much it cost, but oh, here we go. 6.4 billion Canadian is that's the estimate, um, the cost. So Donald, you want part of the bridge? You want to have access to the bridge? Pony up 3.2 billion, and yeah, then you know what? Then we're equal partners in this. Not the idea that yeah, we're just going to hand it over because it's what you want. Don't let the man baby have a tantrum. Yeah.
Okay, I've got the timeline here.
Okay.
2000 to 2001 initial traffic studies to address long-term capacity issues. 2012, Canada and Michigan agreed to construct the bridge, and the Windsor Detroit Bridge Authority was created. 2015 to 2017, finalization of permits, land acquisition and procurement. 2018, bridge construction begins. So I suppose you could blame Obama, but guess what? A lot of stuff,
Yeah.
it hadn't been started building before you took office, Mr. Let's
Exactly.
spray paint it gold and put a giant T on it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I know somewhere out there, Gordie Howe is turning over in his grave, going, "Oh, for shit's sake!"
Yeah, I mean, it's to me that this is no different than what he did with the Kennedy Center.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just take it over, and I'll just
Oh,
do whatever I want.
what else was it? Okay, let me see if I can pull the story together. There was some big. infrastructure project. He was working with Chuck Schumer, and he wanted to. Who wanted to slap his name on Dulles International Airport?
Yes. Yes, because yeah, Chuck Schumer was waiting for, I think, for a money release, and
Yeah,
Trump said, "Yeah, I'm
I'll do
wait."
it if you name Washington Dulles Airport Donald J. Trump International Airport or whatever he wants to call it.
Yes, yes, and Penn Station.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Francis.
Francis. Yes, yeah, and Penn Station. Like really, really, I I think I would like to see someone put up a sign that says not Donald J. Trump, but Donald Jessica Trump. I would love to see that. And oh my gosh, who made that mistake? Oh, it was a junior staffer. Yeah, we got rid of him or her, they, them, whoever. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The trolls can have a lot of fun with this. The Donald J. Trump
Absolutely.
outhouse, the Donald J.
Yes.
Trump sewage treatment facility.
Yes. Yeah. And the as long as he was going on and on and on about this, he um he also chastised Canada for wanting and for signing deals with China,
Yeah.
because that is just wow. And yeah, he said that China was going to eat Canada alive, and that the first thing China will do is to terminate all ice hockey being played in Canada and permanently eliminate the Stanley Cup.
And then steal all your maple syrup
Yes.
and ban the word a from your
Yes.
diction.
Yes. So it's like,
Oh,
uh, yeah.
and then they're going to take over all the Timmies.
God forbid.
Yeah,
God forbid. Yeah. We'll fight. We'll fight for that. Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah. Um Now, who was it? Was who is the Slotkin?
Oh, Melissa Slotkin, I think is her name, or Alyssa Slotkin.
Could be Slotkin hit back at this, saying the only reason Canada was on the verge of trade deals with China was because Trump has kicked them in the teeth for a year. Yeah, yeah.
Alyssa Slotkin.
Okay, okay, yeah. So there's that. There's that. Um, the other thing that I read that was on BBC News website was that apparently there is um, an ex Palm Beach police chief who was part of the Epstein investigation. Um, and yeah, that was his name is Michael Reitner, and he told the Miami Herald that he received a call from Trump, and this was in 2006, and that the Donald Trump told him then that everyone knew about the disgraced financier's behavior, and he said, "Thank goodness you are stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this."
Mm-hmm.
And this was, yeah, reportedly a written record of the 2019 FBI interview with this former police chief. Now, um, the when when asked by reporters in 2019 when Epstein was arrested by federal agents for sex trafficking, if he had any suspicions about the disgraced financier, Trump said, "No, I had no idea. I had no idea. I haven't spoken to him in many, many years.
Hmm.
So um, this this particular report document or whatever that was supposedly put in by this Michael Reitner. Um, is there any truth to that at all, or was this something that was just thrown in with the yeah with the most recent dump of um, Epstein file information?
So what's the question? Was this included purposely to
Yes.
discredit Trump's public statements? Okay.
Yeah, to either discredit him or to try to cover up for him. Oh no, we brought
Oh,
this. I said this to try to get him to. Um, yeah,
there's so much more.
yeah,
There's so much more. I've got Nine of Pentacles. They came forward with evidence, and guess what? They had their pick of the litter. Trump is named so many times that they could just pick anything with his name on it, and it's going to demonstrate
yes,
basically everything Trump knew and the actions he didn't take. Um,
hmm
and again, then you got the Five of Coins and the Judgment card. So underneath it all is Trump's public statements versus what anything on a subpoena or a deposition says, and it makes him come out of this poorly. He can't explain, he can't deny what he was said. All he could try to do is run from it, running from the evidence.
yeah, exactly. And interesting that this information just came out within the last couple days, because one of the other things that, yeah, according to the FBI summary of the interview, Reitner said Trump told him in a July 2006 call, that he had thrown Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago club and that people in New York knew he was disgusting. Reitner also claims Trump told him Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's operative and that she is evil and to focus on her. Considering that she just very recently gave testimony, or well, she didn't give testimony, she pleaded the fifth.
Pleaded the fifth.
Yeah, the much anticipated, I got a story to tell you. Um, yeah, I think that this is just such it feels like a lot of external influence that he those things were thrown in there to try to cover up,
Yeah.
right? That yeah, I honestly don't think that conversation really ever happened, and if it did happen, um, yeah, Trump certainly wasn't the guy who said, "Oh no, 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 look out for these people. They're no good. They're nasty. They're whatever." The only way that would work is if that was about the same time that he had the fallout with Jeffrey Epstein over that piece of property,
Yeah.
right?
I guess
But
I think it was also, maybe you mentioned it, that Trump was on record saying that Epstein was never a member of the club, but he was often a guest.
yes,
So you can't kick him out of the club if he was never a member of the club,
yeah, yeah,
unless
there
it was
is
the
that
hair
too.
club for men.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, speaking of Epstein, one of the videos that I saw earlier today, and and I cannot remember the lady's name, but she's a mortician, and she talked about the picture that was put out when Epps apparently unalived himself,
Mhm.
and um, her the things that she brought up made a lot of sense to me, because she said there are some things that when that happen to the human body, sort of almost immediately after death, that you cannot control. They simply happen, and those things didn't show up in that picture. Um, the the coloring was wrong. The fact that his mouth was closed. Um, the just the way that his eyes were. She said no, that body did not react the way that a normal body, yeah, would. So, considering that we're still talking about Epps, um, is is he dead or is he alive? Is he dead or is he alive? Okay, I'm gonna go to tarot for that. Thank you, Barb Fisher. Yeah, she said I saw the video. It was quite interesting. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the one thing that I always found, I guess, interesting was being a narcissist that Epstein is. They don't harm themselves. They they will do unspeakable things to anybody and everybody, but they do not harm themselves. So, mm,
I
what
would
you
say this. In order for Epstein to be alive, you would have to make sure that he was somewhere where he could never be seen again. He's too recognizable. So you'd have to hide him on an island somewhere. And it's like,
Mhm.
well, this guy's used to living on an island. He's perfectly fine with that. And then you have to feed him his uh, his vices, because I don't think he's going to live on that island without his vices, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and foundation of the reading is the Two of Coins. Downward spiral, choppy waters. So, looking at the value of something, but then we get the minor arcana death card and the lying in repose card. I've got the Queen of Swords and I've got the Eight of Wands. What is it telling me? I think a decision needed to be made on him. It had to be done quickly. And if you're the type that believes he's still alive, and there's more evidence or more people are coming out saying he's alive that seem credible than, say, Elvis Presley for all
Yes.
those years in the tabloids. They could fake a death. They could have him lying low until some time that he can come out, whatever that means. But it's almost like you have to lie low. You have to pretend you're dead for the rest of your life, unless they could do a face transplant on the guy or something along those lines. But if they did fake his death, these cards say they could very well have, and they had to get him out of there and fly him somewhere where he could
Mhm.
be, on the water away, whether he lives on yachts the rest of his life or on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet against it.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Two of Swords. Yeah, decision had to be made.
Yep.
Um, and and who who was part of the decision-making process. What was involved in that is protection of the King of Swords. He's got a lot of information about a lot of people.
Yeah.
And this, not only financially could he make this happen, but in terms of compromat, in terms of um, the the secrets and information that he holds, would be very easy to get other people um, to agree to kind of help in this venture. I get the chariot. Yeah, it was a quick exit. They were not going to let him stick around, um, and kind of be used by anybody else. I honestly, and entertainment purposes only, what do I know? I'm reading tarot cards online. Okay. I think that, yeah, he's being protected by Israel and Mossad. I think that he was an agent for Mossad. And so, yeah, once they got him out of there, there's a good place, a good number of places in and around Israel that he could, a little bit of plastic surgery. You change the hair color, you change this, you change that. It could work. And yeah, and why to do that? Well, yeah, six of Pentacles, six to he can carry out. He's still useful in some ways.
Yeah. I do not believe he committed suicide. I just
No.
don't. Because you're talking about somebody who was so connected to so many powerful people, and
Yes.
Donald Trump's selling pardons. He could easily buy a pardon from Trump. It would
Yes.
cost him a bunch of money, but he could do it. Um, and even if Trump wasn't president, Biden wouldn't do it, but the next Republican that gets in there could
Yep.
potentially pardon him as well. There's or
Yep.
commuted sentence. There's all sorts of different avenues. Uh, Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison and she's still alive. If
Yep.
Since I don't believe he killed himself, he's either killed in prison or he was scurried away and they faked a death for him.
Yeah.
Ms. Maxwell is still in prison, and I do not understand why she hasn't been offed or scurried away as well. Maybe she doesn't have quite the compromise, or she's not a member of the good old boys club quite like Jeffrey Epstein is. Epstein had a lot of friends and a lot of
Yes.
people indebted to him. It just seems highly unlikely that he would have, in a fit of despair, choke himself.
No.
And if you think
No.
about it,
Absolutely.
the people who are reassuring us of this was Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, the same guys who said there's no Epstein client list and like Trump's not mentioned in the files anywhere, and other provable lies. So
Yeah.
why would you trust them for anything?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And as my son pointed out the other day, Trump is mentioned more in the Epstein files than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. So yeah. And yeah, and whether yeah, faking your own death is a crime. I think when you're dealing with people at this level,
Yeah,
you and I might look at it as, oh, I can't do that. That's a crime. It's nothing to them. It's
that
just,
would be like, that would be like concern that Hitler's going to commit perjury or jaywalk
yeah,
compared to everything else he's done in the world. Yeah, it's a crime, but everything he did with sex trafficking and worse is much worse crimes.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. The other interesting thing was, oh, sorry, I was at the top of the page. Um, is U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has confirmed he visited Jeffrey Epstein's island in 2012. Oh,
That's
I
not
know.
possible. That's not possible. He and his wife went to Epstein's house and they saw a massage table in the middle of the room and said, "My God, what kind of guy gets massages like that?" And he said, "I get massages 5 times a day and they all have happy endings. They're the right kind of massages." And they were so revolted, they said they would never associate with him socially or professionally or financially ever again. And that was that. And he said it on TV, so it's got to be true.
Got to be true. Got to be true. Yeah,
Lying sack of shit.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Well, it turns out that he just remembered that he did have lunch with him on a boat going across on family vacation. But my wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. We had lunch on the island. That's
Mhm.
true for about an hour,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then and
Yeah.
then and then he remembered that over the next 14 years that he might have met him 2 or 3 times that he can recall. Um, but yeah, he's not exactly sure that his testimony on Capitol Hill marked the first time he publicly confirmed the visit. I don't recall why we did it, but we did.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
it's funny because, yeah, they happened to be passing by on a boat, so we had lunch on his island. Talk
yeah.
about just trying to diminish it as much as possible. Did he mention anything about he and Epstein being co-presidents of like an advertising marketing company together? Because that was right around the same time too. I don't know how you forgot that one. I guess he must be the president of so many companies that
It,
you
it's
totally forgot.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, it's not like it was a big company, so yeah, just being co-presidents, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and
you know,
and yeah, and his kids were there, but the nannies were there too. So
good
it was quite a lovely little crowd. So the the kids can attest. My wife can attest. The nannies can attest. We just had lunch with the guy that yeah, we publicly said was absolutely gross, and we didn't want to have anything to do with him. Yeah.
for the movie watchers in the audience. Picture Peter Lorre, and then not remembering that you went to his private island and schmoozed with him,
Yes.
and then we're in a business venture with him. I can't think of. Can you come up with a pop culture person as somebody who's even more slimy and smarmy? Because Peter Lorre excelled at those type of characters,
Yes.
oozing
Yeah.
oozing
Yes,
up to you.
yeah, he absolutely did. And yeah, the Rowan Atkinson comes to mind, especially the Blackadder series.
Yeah, but he
That was a
was
little.
he was definitely smart, but not like Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is like the
No.
complete opposite.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And yeah. So um let me see. As we're getting close to the end, I do want to mention that there was it very way back in the beginning. Deanie Buck had posted quite a lot of questions, and I do want to take a moment and kind of answer some of them. He said he saw my channeling that I did with Sheila, and it seems spot on. Can you do it? Can we do more of those? Yes, absolutely. We have another one scheduled for March the 7th. So look out for that. And if you're not familiar with what Sheila and I did, and that this worked out exceptionally well, was one of us would do a remote view, and while our eyes are closed and we're doing the remote view, the other one was picking cards and showing cards. And it was amazing
Hmm.
how what we were channeling was showing up in the cards. It really, really interesting. So yes, we'll be doing it again in March. Um, and here's a good one. Yeah. Are the tariff funds sitting liquid in the U.S. Treasury? Why is it taking so long for SCOTUS decision on tariff case? So what is the money there? Is the Pope Jewish? Yeah.
And for Amanda Celeste, all I'm going to throw out to you for a Blackadder quote is, and tell him next time to bring a bear with him.
Yeah.
Obscure reference, but if you get it, you get it.
Yes. So, yeah, are the tariff funds sitting liquid in the U.S. Treasury? Mm, no, no. There were agreements even before that money made in there or went in there supposedly on how they were going to be distributed and who was going to get what. So, yeah, all this money that's going to go to the people, yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I got the 5 of coins. Good luck finding it.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
money's been
exactly.
spent. The
Yes.
tariff shelf's empty. Oh, what happened? I have no idea.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. And what else? What else that reminded me that I was going to? Oh, yes. Trump suing the IRS for $10 billion. And
If as a sitting president, if he can't be sued, he should too also not be able to do any suing until he's no longer the president of the United States. Period.
yes, yes. Now he has said that if he wins this lawsuit, and he's pretty confident that he will, that $10 billion, he's going to donate that to charity.
Yeah, the Trump charity.
Yes, yeah, because he and his family have had dealings with charities in the past.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to operate any charities.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Put that in your peace pipe and smoke it. Yeah. Is that not straight up money laundering? Suing the IRS could very well be. Could very well be that you're the grift, the theft that is going on is so far beyond anything that we could imagine. That, yeah, it's mind boggling. It's mind boggling. Yeah.
It's just, it's a conflict of interest. He should not be able to, not until he's no
Yes.
longer the president. Now, I don't know what the law is or how folks will rule on it, but that's to me is a really common sense solution to the problem. Yes, you can sue the IRS, but not when you're the president because nobody can sue you. Therefore, you can't sue anybody else.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah. Yep. And exactly. It makes total sense. It makes
Mhm.
total sense that you have to wait. You have to wait your turn, right? You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
It'll still be
Rules
there.
for
The
me.
IRS will still be there when you're out of office.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So there. Well, you guys, thank you. Thank you. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. We're at 240. I'm not sure if we were higher at some point or not, but yeah, grateful that you spent part of your Tuesday night with us. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure, leave comments. Um, do the like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us get the message out in front of people who want to hear it. And yeah, just let's all send good positive vibes to Gary, and he can do with it whatever he wants. If he decides to come
Exactly.
back, that's great. If he decides that he's going um, to back away for a while, that's great too, because self-care is really important.
Yeah.
So thank you, David. Thank you for doing this with me every 2 weeks. I
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, love it, love it, love it. All right, folks, take care, and yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.